Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Before we get to today's subject, I just have to share this one item that you probably already know because I record these the day before you see them. But it's really, well, it's me tooting my own horn, I suppose, because when the Israel-United Arab Emirates deal was announced, I said Trump should get a Nobel Prize. Well, he's been nominated for a Nobel Prize. Trump nominated for Nobel Peace Prize by Norwegian officials citing Israel-UAE peace deal. Just weeks after helping to broker peace between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, President Trump has been nominated for the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize. The nomination, submitted by Christian Tybring-Jetty, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I tried to find a pronunciation on Google. I couldn't find one. So hope that's right, Christian. The nomination submitted by Christian Tybring-Jetty, a member of the Norwegian parliament, lauded Trump for his efforts toward resolving protracted conflicts worldwide. Quote, "For his merit, I think he has done more trying to create peace between nations than most other Peace Prize nominees," unquote. Tybring-Jetty, a four-term member of parliament who also serves as chairman of the Norwegian delegation to the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, told Fox News in an exclusive interview. Tybring-Jetty, in his nomination letter to the Nobel Committee, said the Trump administration has played a key role in the establishment of relations between Israel and the UAE. Quote, "As it is expected, other Middle Eastern countries will follow in the footsteps of the UAE. This agreement could be a game changer that will turn the Middle East into a region of cooperation and prosperity," unquote, he wrote. And by the way, a little aside here, because I just read this on the news right before I started recording this, Chad, the African country of Chad, so it's not a Middle Eastern country, but it is a Muslim country, they're establishing relations with Israel. They're not opening an embassy in Jerusalem, but they're opening some kind of liaison, some kind of office. They will have a presence in Jerusalem. This comes on the heels of what was announced yesterday or the day before. Kosovo, another Muslim country, and Serbia putting their, well, in the case of Serbia, moving their embassy. They already have one in Israel, moving from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, but Kosovo establishing from the get-go an embassy in Jerusalem. So the dam is breaking. Things are happening, and definitely Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. It looks like at least one Norwegian in the Norwegian legislature gets it. I'll just close with this quote because it's a fun quote. Quote, "I am not a big Trump supporter," unquote, he said. Quote, "The committee should look at the facts and judge him on the facts, not on the way he behaves sometimes." Wouldn't that be nice if our own journalists would do that here? And I'm going to get to that in a second. Another little aside, the press conference, the White House press briefing that I saw earlier today. But continuing with the quote, finishing up, "The people who have received the Peace Prize in recent years have done much less than Donald Trump. For example, Barack Obama did nothing," unquote. That's the best part of this article. I had to share it. Now, when I was lambasting the press a moment ago, our press, the American press, it's because, as I said, I watched the White House press briefing today where Kayleigh McEnany announced the Nobel Peace Prize, made a couple of other announcements, but all the reporters wanted to ask about, it seemed, was coronavirus, because Bob Woodward has a book coming out. Apparently in the book, it says that a couple of people said that Trump was downplaying the seriousness of coronavirus. Kayleigh McEnany responded with a long list of the actions that Trump has said, statements that he has made. And it's interesting that the Woodward quote comes from Dr. Fauci, who is on tape, we've all seen it, praising Donald Trump, in one case saying that Trump did everything that could be done, that when Fauci said we have to shut down the country for 15 days, Trump immediately agreed. When Fauci and Dr. Birx came back and said, well, we have to do it for longer, he agreed immediately. On and on and on. She tried to explain, or she did explain over and over, but they refused to get it. She explained over and over that he was calming the people down, saying that we'll get through this. It will all turn out all right. This crisis eventually will end. The press kept trying to characterize that as, number one, Trump downplaying the seriousness of the coronavirus, and number two, just flat out lying about the seriousness of the coronavirus. My point being that they asked the same question. I was going to say multiple questions, but it really was the same question over and over and over. I didn't time it, probably for at least 10 minutes, and they kept coming back to it. Nothing about the Nobel Prize, nothing about that she announced the Israel and UAE deal. The signing is going to be September 15th at the White House. No questions about that. Really, no questions about anything. One reporter had a question about Belarus, and that was, I'm judging by the accent, a reporter from Belarus. It's just another example of how bad our media has gotten. They don't seek information for we the American people. They are just trying to elect Joe Biden and any Democrat, I guess, that they can find. They just do a great disservice for the American people, and that is why, as Rick Grenell said in an earlier press conference, that nobody listens to them anymore. I don't listen to the press. I read it. Well, I have to because I do these vlogs, but it just depresses me every time I read it. Now on to today's main subject, which is a theme song for the Trump campaign. I don't know if it's every time, but before a lot of rallies, I hear "You Can't Always Get What You Want" by the Rolling Stones. So I'm assuming that is his theme that he plays for every rally. But somebody has come up with a new theme. I think I'm suggesting it for a theme. You may already know about this already. If not, you definitely have to watch and hear this. But first I want to talk about the person who created this song. It's actually a parody. The person is, he calls himself Ricky Rebel. I am pretty sure that is not his real name. He calls himself Ricky Rebel. I'm going to show you first an excerpt from a video that he did a few months ago. He is part of the Walk Away campaign. If you don't know what that is, that's people walking away, lifelong Democrats or longtime Democrats walking away from the Democratic Party. It was founded by a New York hairdresser, a gay New York hairdresser, Brandon Straka, who just saw the hate in the Democratic Party and he just walked away and he started a movement. He posted a video. That's actually what happened. He posted a YouTube video and then someone else and someone else, and now they hold these big rallies all over the country, and every day you see more and more people posting videos. And it's interesting that it's not just white working middle class people, but a lot of black people, a lot of minorities. And in this case, well, I'm going to show you the video. He's a nice guy, he's an interesting guy, but he is not the kind of person that if you looked at him, you would say this is a Republican. He looks like a liberal Democrat, which actually is what he was. But it just goes to show that the Republican Party really is, as Lee Atwater said a long time ago, a big tent. I mean, this guy is welcome in the Republican Party. I am glad to see him, and all I can say is Big Ten. So I'm not going to play his walkaway video. It's about 5 minutes, but I am linking to it. I'll show you the first part. But I urge you to go watch the whole thing because he created this video that I'm going to show you also, and that I'm also linking to, and I'm going to urge you to go watch the video too. Well, you're going to see the video here with me, but to go to his channel, and even if you don't watch the whole video, to go on long enough to give him a view, because he deserves one for what he did, and Trump should use it as his new campaign theme. Now, you all, I'm sure, know the song YMCA. I'm going to explain after the video, though you may already know because I have a very sophisticated viewership, I'm sure, but you may not know if you live outside of New York because it's kind of a New York thing. That's what this song is about. The original song, YMCA, what you're going to see is a parody of that song, the music track with new lyrics. I guess I've talked enough about it for now. Watch the video. It is really great. You're going to see first an example of left-wing violence against conservatives. It's like a brief introduction, so bear with it. It'll be like a few seconds, and then into this song. Here it is. Enjoy.
Altercations still happening.
From the hate, we're all human, and we don't segregate, just like women. Help make America great. We are all in this together. Everybody sing M-A-G-A, M-A-G-A. Black, white, and brown, from every city and town. We don't let haters keep us down. M-A-G-A, everybody.
Welcome back, and I'm sure, or I hope, I trust that you'll agree with me that that should be the Trump campaign theme song. He should play it at every campaign rally. It's just a great song. It really is, or a great parody, I should say. Well, it is a great song too. YMCA is a great song. But I have to explain, for those of you who don't know, there may be some of you out there who don't know, it's an especially subversive choice to choose that song to tweak the left and the LGBTQ, whatever, I can't remember all the letters. What is subversive about this particular song is that it's actually a gay anthem. If you thought this song was about the YMCA and about how great the YMCA is, let me clue you in. It's not about that at all. You know this especially if you live in New York, or you have lived in New York, as I did for 40 years. It's by the Village People. The Village People dress up as all these gay sexual fantasy stereotypes. So you have a cowboy, you have an Indian, you have a policeman, and others. YMCA is a gay anthem. It's about the YMCA, which in New York at least was, and maybe still is, a notorious gay cruising spot. If you're a gay man looking for a young gay man to hook up with, you cruise by the YMCA. That is what the song is actually about, if you didn't know. So it's subversive to use that song to tweak the left. So now you know, if you didn't know before, and that's just an example of many why you should watch this vlog, because I share these little tidbits with you. I am happy to share them with you, but I would be even happier if you could give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you could share it with anybody you think would also like the video or that song. And again, as I said earlier, please visit the site. I linked to it, or visit the YouTube video, the original, so that Ricky Rebel can get a page view, because he deserves it. That's why. So I said, thumbs up if you like this video, share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments, you can put them in the comment section below the video, as well as questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting subscribers. But most of all, thank you all very much for spending some of your time with me. I hope you got something out of it. I know I got something out of visiting with you. And I look forward to seeing all of you again. I hope I'll see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.